Yesterday we have seen regarding work measurements and its techniques. Out of that, today we are going for that for the work sampling. What is mean by work sampling and everything. So we are going towards for the work sampling. Work sampling is also called as activity sampling or ratio delay study. It is based on the statistical method. First devised by LHS Tippett in 1934, he used this technique in British textile industry. The result obtained by all-day stopwatch time study and such other statistical study were in most cases found to be close agreement with work sampling method. Work sampling is a fact-finding tool. It is a fact-finding tool because it is finding the such statistical method where most cases found. त्याच्याकडनं जो डाटा येणार आहे तोच इकडं वापरणार आहे. आपण जो डाटा तिकडून म्हणजे टाईम स्टडीकडनं जो मिळणार आहे, स्टॉपवॉचकडनं जो मिळणारा डाटा आहे त्याचा डाटाचाच आपण थोडाफार इथं उपयोग करणार आहे. आणि रिअल फाइंडिंग टूल म्हणून म्हटलेलं आहे. फॅक्ट फाइंडिंग टूल म्हणजे जे डाटा आहे तो खरा आहे का नाही याच्याबद्दल आपण विचार करणार. Objective of the work sampling is to measure activities and delays while a man is working and the percentage of that he is not working. It means a fair day's work. Second, under certain circumstances to measure manual tasks, that is to establish time standards for an operation. Theory behind work sampling. If sufficient number of observations are taken at random, then the percentage of observations recorded on an operation in any state of is a reliable estimate of the percentage time the operation is in the state. In this method, error is likely to occur, but the error tends to diminish as the number of sample increases. Error is going to come, but we can minimize that error by increasing the number of samples. By increasing the number of samples, we can eliminate the errors. Okay. Sample size determination for getting 95% confidence level. For that purpose, we are having one formula, that is S into P is equal to K into X under root of P minus 1 minus P upon N, where K is equal to 1, 2 or 3 for confidence level 68%, 95% and 99.7% respectively. The N is the total number of random observations, that is S is the desired relative accuracy and P is the percentage occurrence in an activity or delay expressed in decimals. That is, if 15% is there, then we are going to be consider it as a 0.15. If it is 25%, 0.25. And with the help of this formula, we can calculate where the number of observations required for achieving the desired accuracy. And here confidence level is 95%. What is confidence level? If you in third year you have learned 6 sigma. In 6 sigma there is a curve like this. It is moving like this sinusoidal wave. There is a curve is there, and below that we are marking it there in 95%, and according to that we are we are going to collect the confidence level. So here, for getting the confidence level, we are having the formula we have seen. We are going to use this formula for getting the number of observations. Next is determination of accuracy for a given number of observation. When the study is over, calculation is made to find whether the results are within the desired accuracy or not. Within the desired accuracy or not. This can be done by substituting n in the equation. By substituting n in the equation 1. Now, procedure for work sampling study. First of all, define the problem. State the main objective for or purpose of the problem. Describe the details of each element to be measured. Second, obtain the approval of the in charge of the department in which study is to be made. Obtain the cooperation of the operators to be studied. They should also understand the purpose of the study. Without knowing to the operator, you cannot perform this study. So you must inform the worker what is the purpose of that study, what you are going to do the study, for which purpose you are going to do the study, and accordingly you are going to take the cooperation of the operator. Third one is determine the desired accuracy of the final results in the form of standard error or percentage. Fourth one is state the confidence level. Fifth is make a preliminary estimate of the percentage occurrence of the activity or delay to be measured for 1 day or 2 days. This may be estimated on the basis of past experience. जे पहिला मागचा जो डाटा आहे, जे जुना जो डाटा आहे त्यावरनं यू आर गोइंग टू estimate the percentage of occurrence of the activity. And sixth one is design the study, and in that determine the number of observations to be made, observations needed, select and instruct them, days or shifts needed for the study. B is make plans for taking observations, such as time for taking and the route to be followed by the observer. Design the observations form. What are the observations you are going to see, that you have to design. 7. Mark the observation and record the data. 8. Summarize the data at the end of each day. 9. Check the accuracy or precision of data at the end of the study. 10th. Prepare the report and state results. If required, make recommendations. These sampling steps: define operation task, define task element, design study, identify the observers who will do the sampling, collect the data, summarize and analyze. These are the steps involved in work sampling. Now, what are the advantages of work sampling over time study? Because time study is going to be used in maximum industries, but then why to shift for the work sampling? then there are some advantages over the time study. One is operator is not subjected to long period of observations. Second, group operations can be easily studied by a single analyst. It is not a require continuous operation for a long period. Many operations or activities which are impractical or costly to be measured by time study can be measured by this. Observations may be taken over a period of days or weeks, thus decreasing the chance of day to day or week to week variations affecting the results. Next, the man hours spent by the analyst are much less. Seventh is work sampling study can be stopped at any time without affecting the results. Eighth, in this random observations are taken by avoiding prolonged observations. These are the advantages of the work sampling. Next, this produces less fatigue and less tedious to observer. It is generally requires less time in calculating the result. No stopwatch or any other timing devices is needed. Clerical time is minimized. Disadvantages: it is not economical to study a single operator or machine, or for studying operators of machines located over the wide areas. It does not permit finer breakdown of activities and delays. Study made of a group presents average, while there is no information about the magnitude of individual differences. Management and workers may not be able to understand work sampling as easily as they do time study. Sometimes no record is kept about the study of the operator on the operator. Therefore, new study must be made when change occurs in any element. Where we are implementing this work sampling, work sampling can be applied for the estimation of the percentage utilization of machine tools, cranes, forklifts, etc. Work sampling can also be used to estimate the unavoidable delay times for deciding the delay allowances, to estimate the percentage of time consumed by various job activities, that is supervision, repair, inspection. Work sampling is also made to find out time standards, especially where the job is not repetitive and where time study by stopwatch method is not possible, for maintenance work, office work, repair work, shop building, where we cannot do we cannot do the works, or we cannot find work standards, time for the work standards with the help of stopwatch. Okay, these are the applications of the work sampling. Okay, thank you. Tomorrow we will see regarding PMTS. If any problem, please call me. My number is there. Thank you.